to walk us through the final moments of the countdown. Guys?
Yeah, thanks, Megan. The SpaceX team is working no significant issues right now. We're continuing to monitor weather, although it is trending more and more towards green as we march towards T0. The range is also standing by to support. At this point, RP1 fuel is completely loaded on both stages. Liquid oxygen loading is currently underway and should complete around the T-2 minute mark. We're also loading helium gas into both stages. Falcon 9 uses helium as a pressurant to backfill the propellant tanks, as LOX and RP1 are consumed by the Merlin engines during ascent. Helium load began before the broadcast went live, and we'll continue to top that off as well until about a minute and a half before launch.
Andy mentioned that liquid oxygen being loaded. It's super chilled liquid oxygen, and to make sure the engine startup goes well, they perform engine chill. This began at T-7 minutes, and a small amount of that LOX is flowed through the Merlin engine's turbo pumps to avoid thermal shock to that system, to allow the full flow of super chilled liquid oxygen when the clock strikes 0. Dragon also began its startup sequence at T-35 minutes when it coordinated timing with Falcon 9. It's currently undergoing vehicle health checks, with the next big step happening just a moment ago when Dragon transitioned to internal power.
What we're seeing on screen right now, the clamp arms just underneath the Dragon have begun to open up, and they should be completing fully open right now. And the strong back, which is the truss structure right next away to its pre-launch position. It will continue to recline all the way reach T0 to
Stage 1 LOX load complete.
Last few minutes, Falcon 9 is communications, avionics, and we also may hear callouts that the engines are closer to liftoff.
Vector control actuators should begin right about, that's referred to as the engine wiggle. This is where SpaceX will move the thruster to make sure the guidance hardware is go. SpaceX will do the exact same before ignition. This is all still on for a liftoff scheduled for 5 as we track towards the space for tomorrow morning. Space station now, and we'll be there with this mission for about a month.
So at this point, once that is loading onto the vehicles, all propellants are loaded onto the vehicle. We're starting to have some white condensed liquid oxygen as that ambient air temperatures of Florida is normal and expected for us at this stage in the countdown as we march towards T0.
-1 minutes, we'll get the Dragon. The Falcon 9 computers will enter startup mode and begin guiding the rocket through the last seconds before lift.
Falcon 9's in startup.
Rising for launch. Range remains good. Remain green, so all things
go for launch.
We'll get an all systems go here in just a
T-minus 8, 7, 4, 3, Ignition.
Cargo Dragon soars with the final astronauts aboard the International Space Station.
Stage 1 change.
Plus 40 seconds into
Telemetry
you
nominal.
can see him passing through the cloud. In just a few seconds here is Max, the highest amount of aerodynamic.
Hypersonic.
Through that period of high, the engines on the first stage are now throttling back to make our journey to orbit. 3 events in rapid succession, also known as MECO.
Vac engine chill has started.
Second engine start, also known as F. Cutoff is where all 9 engines on preparation for the second event, stage separation. The first and second stages will separate to the drone ship for a landing attempt. Its Merlin vacuum engine, Earth orbit. It'll be happening in rapid succession in a
MECO. Stage separation confirmed. INVAC ignition.
You heard the callouts. We see it on screen. Successful main engine cutoff, followed by successful stage separation, and then ignition of our Merlin vacuum engine. On the left-hand side of the screen, the first stage, again, it's making its way back to Earth, but it's still being illuminated by the second stage Merlin vacuum engine there. So if you are just joining us, you're watching a live webcast for the 24th commercial resupply mission to the International Space Station for NASA. This is SpaceX's 31st mission for 2021 and the 5th Dragon flight to the International Space Station this year. Couple of views on screen. The right-hand side of the screen is a view of the Merlin vacuum engine on the second stage. The Dragon capsule carrying all of the wonderful holiday treats and science is on the opposite end of that engine. Again, that is continuing to run smoothly as it makes its way to orbit. On the left-hand side of the screen is the first stage. You'll notice some honeycomb-like structures. There's 2 of them on screen right now. Those are our hypersonic grid fins. They're positioned at the top of the first stage booster. There are 4 of them actually, and those will start to swivel and move around to make sure that they are guiding the first stage back to its targeted landing zone. For today's mission, it's going to be the drone ship Just Read the Instruction, which is parked in the Atlantic Ocean. Next event for our mission today is going to be the first stage entry burn. It's going to be the first of 2 burns. In order to make its way back to our drone ship, the first stage has to execute these 2 burns. The first, again, is the entry burn, where 3 of our Merlin engines will stage down as it re-enters the upper. The second burn is the landing burn. This is a single engine burn that will to land on the drone ship. So again, it can make its first landing attempt. Event, you might be interested to know that in order to get go up, it actually has to go sideways really, really fast. At liftoff, gravity is pulling straight down on the rocket, and as we ascend, we tilt the engines, a term called gimbaling, and that turns the rocket horizontally. We're also heading horizontally away from a gravity turn.
Stage 1 FTS is safe.
Things continue to go smoothly for both the first and second stages. Again, the first stage entry burn
follow nominal trajectory.
should start in about 10 seconds.
Stage 1 entry burn is in startup.
And their Merlin engines have reignited their engines and are now currently slowing down the first stage. This burn is expected to last about 30 seconds. And you can see the velocity starting to decrease significantly.
Stage 1 entry burn shut down.
So great news. That is burn 1 of 2 complete. The Falcon 9 first stage is also equipped with 4 landing legs made of state-of-the-art carbon fiber with aluminum honeycomb. They're placed around the base of the rocket and deployed just prior to landing. So we are about, and we're traveling velocity right now, and this really puts into perspective experience in less from twice the speed of a jet all the way down to 0.
Which one is transonic?
Landing burn is expected to start here. Last for about 25 seconds. So I'm going to be listening for the call out for SECO. The Merlin vacuum engine off that engine, and then listening for confirmation of good orbit
Stage
where
1
the second
landing burn.
stage or separating Dragon. We don't have views of the first and the landing burn.
Invac shutdown.
Hopefully we get some visuals. The first landing for this particular successful landing for an orbital class here. We also heard that the second stage engine shut off its engine and confirm a good orbit of the second.
Position signal Newfoundland.
So again, this is a view engine, the Dragon capsule of that. Confirmation that we do indeed have a good be coasting for a few minutes here. This is the unpressurized cargo section of the second stage right now is making some small adjustments prior to separation. We should also have video of the second stage itself. Should give us the view we just saw of the unpressurized slowly depart away